Great people, welcome to this conversation. This is Isaac the Great, and today we are talking about coping with crisis. I'm a Catholic psychologist, and today I have a great friend of mine that will be talking and taking you through this topic. So, my brother, kindly introduce yourself.
My name is, or is it my name's R or is?
Oh, my name is
Oh, not R. I
not
thought
R.
there are three names.
It's
Okay.
okay.
So my name is Steve Muthusi. I am a cognitive and biopsychologist. I am passionate about helping people discover and develop themselves. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. You said cognitive psychologist. What is that? Tell us a bit about that.
Cognitive psychology is just a branch of psychology that deals with the way people think and the processes of thinking and information processing and things like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
So imagine today with this cognitive psychologist will tell us will help us to understand the cognitive aspects of crisis,
Mhm.
and maybe out of that we may be able to come up with a better understanding. But fast way forward, there are several crises that hit people at different lifetimes.
Yeah.
And currently, we have a crisis, not only in this country, but in the world at large.
Mm.
COVID-19 pandemic. I don't know, how has COVID-19 pandemic affected you?
I am a researcher, and the thing that has happened is being able to recruit people to do a research
Mm-hmm.
for psychology has become really challenging,
Mm.
and especially the fact that my current research was supposed to be dealing with high schoolers,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I was just about to start, then the schoolers were sent home.
I can imagine.
So it threw me a curveball of not knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then life happens. So I'm still trying to recruit participants while they are still at home, other than the school.
Mm. And I remember someone say that shift happens at sometimes the F is silent.
I tell you the truth. Shift happens and sometimes the F is
The F is silent.
Yeah.
So now your research is kind of disturbed, and you have to still continue doing it.
Yes.
So does it mean that you have kind of come up with a way of doing it the same?
The challenge was that I needed a place where the participants were together. Like in a school, it would have been easier to go to a school and recruit participants who are adolescents and within a school.
Yes.
The only challenge now is being able to access adolescents who are out of school and still with their parents and everything else, and finding a place where they can still meet and observe issues of social distance and everything else.
Yes.
So it has not changed, only that it's going to be a little slower.
Yes.
Because now the participants would be scattered everywhere than where I would have found them in a school.
Let me put that in simple terms. That whenever you get a crisis, you can be creative enough to find a way out of that, and that's what Steve has done. And I believe even in other crises we can be able to do that. Let me tell you, Steve, on my as a person, I work in an hospital setup, and something funny but also true happens. That because of this COVID-19 pandemic, many people are not going to hospital.
Yeah.
So, a great extent, our income has been affected.
Yeah.
We will not wish to have people go to hospital, but the truth is that also we have suffered at the end of the day. And we have to learn how to manage. We have to go through unpaid leave and pay cuts and all that. Of course, I'm not so able to travel as I used to be to travel, and the fun that comes with it. But now, with all this crisis, how are you coping with it?
It's easy. I usually say sometimes we do not deliberately choose to get into a crisis, but we can deliberately choose to grow through that crisis.
Wow.
For example, if you get into a tunnel, if you are forced to get into a tunnel, if someone forces you into a tunnel, you may not have the choice whether or not you're going in. You've been forced.
Yes.
But how you come out of the other side of the tunnel is what really matters. Someone said if you're going through hell, keep going.
Very good.
If you're going through hell, keep going.
Keep going.
And so
don't stop.
Don't stop. Keep going. Yes.
Yes.
And so the question is, how are you going to come out of COVID-19? Are you going to come out of COVID-19 crying that I wish there was a normal, things go back normal? You see, when we say we go back to normal, we are retrogressing.
Very true.
You cannot say go back. There's no way life is going back.
Yes.
We can only go one way, and that is forward.
Yes.
There's going to be a new normal. There's going to be a new way of doing things.
Yes.
And the way to cope in this crisis is to prepare yourself for the new normal.
Yes.
And so, what are you doing with the time at home? What are you doing with the internet bundles while you're at home? What are you doing with the people around home? What are you doing with the time that you are more alone at home? Are you developing yourself or you are letting your mind think through the good whole days instead of the good possible days ahead.
Very good. And now, looking at it now from a cognitive psychologist perspective, I tend to believe that the brain works in a certain manner that when you are put in a crisis, the brain also finds a way of getting out of that crisis.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying the aspect of creativity and
Yeah.
looking at how do I survive and thrive through this.
Yeah.
Because as Albert Einstein would say that in every difficult situation, there's an opportunity.
Agreed.
I agree that there are several opportunities that has come in during this time of COVID-19, either through you or to you and even people beyond you. I don't know what you think about that.
There are opportunities, but the challenge is not all eyes see opportunities.
Tell us more about that.
Some people see opposition where there is an opportunity. Some people see opportunity even in the opposition.
Oh.
And so when we flip our way of thinking into this thing that has come to me is actually an opportunity to learn, not necessarily to earn.
Yes.
Because right now, like Isaac, you like saying about earning and learning, a very good way of doing it.
Yes.
But on the flip side, if people could look at what you say, learning and earning, to the extent that sometimes the learning comes first.
Very true.
And sometimes the learning actually should be prioritized than the learning. The learning should be prioritized than the earning. Then you realize that it's time to learn. It is time
Actually,
to get your books.
Yes.
It's time for me to go to my house, go to the shelf, and look at all those books that I've always wanted to read and read them.
And actually now talking about your research and learning before we earn. This is a time you can also do a research and see how do young people respond to crisis compared to old people. And that can be a good research perspective as an upcoming cognitive psychologist.
Agreed. There would be different coping mechanisms.
Yes.
And I think young people are more into online and more into digital things and more into internet and stuff. And so there are those whose coping will be negative because they will go to all the wrong places online.
Yes.
One of the things I did when I was doing my research, I did a research recently, and I gave people the opportunity to get 200 shillings for every hour they participate, or get a conversation for 2 hours for every hour they participate. Guess how much? Guess what the young people chose? So you have an option. If you participate, you get 200 shillings for every 1 hour.
Yes.
The other option is you get 2 hours for every 1 hour of a conversation, and I hope you learn a few things as a psychologist, a professional psychologist. And guess which one young people chose?
I think they chose the aspect of getting 200 shillings for the participation.
Exactly, yes. So I think young people need to begin to learn to see things more, to see things in the long term, to see things in the years to come other than just now here, 200. And I guess some of them would even buy bundles which will not last 3 days. And if you ask them what they did with the bundles, Facebook, WhatsApp, social media, nobody downloaded a PDF book on personal development or anything else. But when you talk to elder people and you do the same research, elder people, especially those who are not struggling with the basics, will always go for the option of learning because they have understood that life is about learning.
And I think this for the educationists and those who are coming out with the policies, there's a lot that we need to change in the mindset, the cognitive aspect of our students, because they think they value tangible material things, immediate gratification than long-term achievement. And I'm reminded of one person who said this, that it's unfortunate that the 21st century students are being taught by 19th century teachers who are using 18th century books guided by 19th. Oh my goodness. I looked at that retrogressive thing and I said, this is serious. Let me repeat it once again.
I agree,
21st century students being taught by 20th century teachers who are using 19th century syllabus guided by 18th century calendar. What an unfortunate case. So instead of progressing, we are retrogressing.
I agree. You see, what worked yesterday does not necessarily have to work today.
Very true.
And even if it works today, it doesn't mean that it cannot work better tomorrow. And our challenge should be what experiences. There's a professor friend of mine who tells me, a car is anything that can take you from point A to B.
Yes.
But you see, I think that was the 18th century kind of car that will take you from point A to B.
Yes.
In the 21st century, people are looking for experiences.
Yes.
I have been in small cars. I've also been in big cars.
Yes.
The experience is not the same.
Super.
So we should be looking for things that not only meet the expectation of going from point A to B, but also create an experience. It's memorable. That the way we went from point A to B was memorable, and the brain and the mind can create memories around the beautiful experience of moving.
Thank you so much.
We need to move from just doing things to accomplish little things to doing things to just have an experience.
Thank you so much. We can we can give our viewers to contribute maybe for the next session. I would wish to hear your parting shot towards this aspect of coping and with crisis.
I'll say what I said earlier. You do not intentionally choose to get into a crisis, but you can intentionally choose to grow through it.
Thank you so much. For me, I would say that you cannot use an old map to locate a new land.
Agreed.
Let's be creative with the resources that we have to get to better position. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and watch this channel. Subscribe. Let's keep the discussion going on. Comments, get in touch with us. Thank you so much.